Murphy is that senior or seniors who have maintained the highest cumulative grade point average over their high school career. We are privileged to have 2 valedictorians this year who have both maintained perfect GPAs of 4.0. Each of these students has undertaken an extremely rigorous academic schedule with more than half of their coursework at AMHS being AP or honors level courses. It is my pleasure to introduce the 2012 valedictorians, Lizzie Hasselbrock and Dylan Mozlowski.
There we go.
Alright. Good afternoon, administrators, family friends, faculty, parents, and fellow graduates of the class of 2012. A few days ago, when the finals were over, I was sitting in my lawn chair with a cigar in my hand while enjoying the view from the balcony of my upper middle class suburban home. When it hit me, I had to give a speech to thousands of people in 2 days. First, I tried to force myself to write a speech with some sort of profound message, something inspirational that would be relevant to our graduating class. After failing pathetically at the task at hand, I realized it didn't really matter anyways, as most of you wouldn't have listened to me attempt to give you advice in life, or tell you how unique and special each and every one of you are. You probably would have zoned out, which many of you seem to be doing right now, actually. Eric Hussein, did you wake up, please? It's your graduation ring, come on. Instead, I'd like to say that although it is a tremendous honor to be valedictorian alongside Lizzie, the more I thought about it, the more I was astonished that I am standing here, giving this speech, rather than somebody else. There are so many smart, intellectual people in this graduating class, not to mention the numerous artists, thespians, comedians, and athletes that are sitting right in front of me. The only difference, perhaps, is that I'm better at quickly learning and memorizing things. But that doesn't mean that I'm somehow inherently better than anyone else in this crowd. We all have the same ability to work hard, practice, and achieve our goals and follow our own passions in order to live the life we want to live. Now that I've gotten that off my chest, I'd like to thank everyone at AMHS who has provided all of us the opportunities we have today. I'd like to thank the administration for keeping the school from going bankrupt. I'd like to thank the counselors for always being there. Judy, the custodian, who's honestly one of the nicest people I've met. Lastly, I'd like to thank the faculty for giving me the overly generous grades that allowed me to become valedictorian and give the speech I'm giving right now. No, in all seriousness, I feel the faculty here is what gives the school the ability to produce the fine scholars that we see here today. In particular, I'd like to thank Mrs. Alhire. Where are you? So, there you are, okay. Who taught me that magic really does exist. From the mysteries of Bernoulli's equation to the ridiculousness of magnetic flux, I would always find myself staring at the whiteboard with both amazement as well as horror. I'd like to thank Mrs. Alkire not only because of how awesome and unique of a teacher she is, but because she had me in all 4 of her physics and math classes in the last few years. And I commend the tremendous self-restraint she must have had in order to hold herself back from cracking me over the head with a calculator. As a side note, Mrs. Alkire, I calculated that we spent approximately 600 hours together. And you can now breathe a sigh of relief that it's all over. In conclusion, I'd like to say how sincerely grateful I am for the life I've been given. I'd like to thank my parents who were always there for me when I needed them. Mom and Dad, if you're out there, I love you. That wasn't supposed to be funny. I can say without a doubt that the graduating class of 2012 is going to go far in life. Each and every one of us has been given a unique and wonderful chance in this big game called life. And today marks the point in our lives when we take our very first step alone into that scary thing called reality. Thank you.
Thank you, Dylan. Friends, families, and most important, class of 2012. We're gathered here tonight to do one thing: celebrate. We're here to celebrate our accomplishments, our ability to persevere through stressful times, and our determination to always put things back together, no matter how many times they may fall apart. Patience may be a virtue, but the relentless will to continue on, regardless of obstacles that stand in the way, is a timeless treasure. And each one of us has proved time and again that we have that will, and we have that treasure. It is with the greatest pride that I stand here to represent our class, alongside Dylan, a diverse collection of talents, interests, and hobbies. We are artists, musicians, actors and actresses, mathletes, athletes, dancers, and singers. But even more memorable, and even more important, we are kind, we are compassionate, we are strong, we are risk takers, we are innovators, we are curious, and we are passionate. This class holds a generation of problem solvers, a group of individuals unafraid of the challenges that life may throw in the way. Yes, this is due to our own ambition and talent, but much of who we are now and who we will be in the future is due to our loved ones, our supporters, and our teachers. For many of us, one man in particular stands out. I can think of no better role model embodying every characteristic that I aspire to have than Mr. Leonard. It seems fitting that as a class of seniors full of ambition graduates, so too does one knowledgeable senior, at last. Mr. Leonard, I would like to personally thank you for your many years of service to this school, to our class, to myself, to my brother, and to the countless other students that have passed through your lectures, discussions, and occasional sarcastic but mutually respectful verbal abuse. You will be missed by those of us moving on, and those yet to come will have no idea what they're missing out on. And yet, this is a time of change for all of us, as we start new chapters in our lives and we experience new things. And though times change, our ability to react, adapt, and succeed never will. William Butler Yeats analyzed change through a simple explanation. Things fall apart. The center cannot hold. And in our case, mere anarchy is loosed upon the world. Yes, the world will soon see change from us. Maybe good and maybe not. But we are a class that will make a difference. Of that I have no doubt. But what matters most is that when things do fall apart, as they inevitably will, that we always strive to put them back together, never giving up, never for a moment surrendering to that small inclination to quit. That, my friends, is why we are so great, because we have never given up. And I do not believe that we ever will. So tonight, we celebrate. And though memories of the last 4 years, of tonight, and of this speech may fade, it is my hope that you all remember that what matters most is not that things fall apart, but what matters is whether you let them stay apart, or whether you piece them together into something greater. Thank you.
Our last performer is Carolyn Rourke, who will be singing I hope you dance.
I hope you